Welcome to the channel, everyone. So I'm back on my trailer project here. I got to get some of this stuff painted because it's in the way of the shop here. I can't leave it outside, even if it's not going to rain, because we're getting like humidity at night. So all this bare metal is going to flash rust really bad. It's already kind of trying to rust a little bit. But yeah, I got to see if I can't get these fenders finished. I can fully paint them. That's no problem because I can unbolt them. And actually it's all new metal. So that ain't so bad. I guess the deal is I got to weld this edge of this fender. You guys remember at the start of this project, I bought those fenders. They were, fabricated by someone. Anyway, he didn't weld this back edge all the way, and I just don't like that. So I'm gonna have to weld that up, which is a little bit annoying. Also, I got to do some cleanup here. He didn't do the best at cleaning up all these seams, and I get it, I guess. Trailer fenders, a lot of people just throw them on there, beat them up. They don't care as long as it covers the tires. I'm a little more pickier than that. I'm going with a black color on this, so like everything that's bad is going to show. So I'm not doing car show quality here. It's just I just want a little better than normal quality, I guess. Better than the normal trailer quality. So I'm having to clean these fenders up, which is costing me time. Okay, so I got this side pretty well welded up. Good enough for a trailer. I got to take the fender off now. Probably do this little section right here on each side. Get that welded up, cleaned up. And then probably got to work on this edge. It feels pretty good, but I'll probably work on it because I can't really get in there with the tires there. Then I'll probably get some 80 grit sandpaper or something and run over it so I get rid of all the BBs and stuff that are on there. And then go to the other side and do the same thing on that side. I mean, you can see why the guy didn't do it. He should have done it when he made the fenders, but it's a lot of work. But in the end, it's going to make these fenders better. So okay, so you can see got my fenders on a stand here, getting ready to prime. I'm going to prime the inside. Not going to be able to paint the whole fender in one shot anyway, so I think I'm just going to do the inside here. and then I'll paint the outside later. I'm waiting on paint anyway. I don't have the paint, so I can't do it. But these are pretty much ready to paint. You can see on the inside there, I've got seam sealer on all the seams. I did that to keep salt and everything out of those seams. Yeah, in Wisconsin, this fender probably won't last long. If that really nasty stuff they're putting on the road gets inside those seams, it'll destroy this thing in no time. So trying to seal this up so this job will last the life of the trailer, hopefully. So I'm going to put a black epoxy primer on the inside here. I'll epoxy prime the outside too, but and then I'll put paint over that. But on the inside, I think I'm going to do an undercoating, a rubberized undercoating. That will it'll keep the epoxy primer from being chipped off by like rocks and stuff being thrown by the tires. I think that's probably the best protection that I can get under here. So epoxy primer, then I'm going to rubberize undercoat it. And I think, like I said, that's going to offer the best protection for these. So I've got it all cleaned up. I wiped it down with my my cleaner for my paint system. And I'm going to mix up my epoxy primer and get to spraying. Okay, so coat number 1's on there. Looks good. Good enough for a trailer anyway. So I'll put a second coat for sure on there. If I have extra paint, I'll put, third coat on there if I have extra paint. I try to mix it up so I don't have so much extra paint, but a couple extra coats, not gonna be a big deal and not gonna hurt under here anyway. So I'll use up what I got, and then yeah, it'll be ready for undercoating once this cures. Okay, so I've got the inside painted on both fenders. It's actually been a few days. Been waiting on my undercoating, and I'm just going with this 3M professional grade undercoating. You can get undercoating from all kinds of different companies. I think 3M is one of the best as far as products. So I've used that in the past. I used that on Dad's Camaro. And I actually had a can left over. I don't think I'm going to need 3 cans, but I got 3 cans. I'm not going to like really lay it on there thick. Just a nice even coat, like I said, so rock chips don't happen, and this primer stays intact and protects the metal. So yeah, I'm just gonna spray this, guys, real quick. I'm not gonna do any video. Just read the can, follow the directions. With any can, any paint system you get, read the directions, guys, and follow those directions. There's usually a set like dry time and how far away to spray something. And one thing is, be real careful with temperature. That's pretty critical. I know a lot of people don't pay attention to that, but temperature is really critical for all this stuff to actually dry, because it's chemicals, and these chemicals need to dry a certain way. If they don't have the right temperature to dry right, it's kind of like wasting your time. It may turn out, may not. So, just the best thing I can say is just follow the directions, guys. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to get these undercoated, and I'll probably come back once they're dry. Okay, so just got done spraying the undercoating. I used 2 cans, just like I figured. 2 cans went as far as I needed to go. 2 good coats of this stuff. You probably can't even hardly see that anything's changed. You can see a little bit hasn't dried yet. A little bit of you see that little bit of off color, but it's kind of got a like texture now. I think it looks pretty good. That texture kind of hides like imperfections in the seam sealer and stuff like that. It doesn't hide them all. It's the inner fender. You're not even going to hardly see this. This side's kind of on the dark side of the lighting. I do use a light. I got this little light usually when I paint. LED light helps me see everything. We got quite a few lights in the shop, but it still ain't enough, don't seem like, especially when painting. So yeah, these are undercoated now. I think I'm gonna get my paint. I think the tracking says 2 days, so that'll probably be perfect. This undercoating will be nice and dried, so I can flip them over and paint the top side. So yep, I'll be back once I get my paint. Okay, so got the fenders. I got them sitting on 5-gallon pails to get me up off the ground a little bit, also so I can get up under there. I would just set them on the ground like on some cardboard or something, but I need to get that underneath a little bit. So got the inside all finished. It's been sitting for a few days now. I finally got my paint, so I'm going to prime the outside of the fenders with the black epoxy primer. So I lightly scuffed them with some sandpaper just in case there was maybe some rust starting to form on them, because they are bare metal right now. But yeah, then I wiped them down with my cleaner for my paint system. So yeah, these are ready to go. So I've got my primer all mixed up. It's in my gun. And yeah, I'm going to prime the outside. Hopefully I got enough. I only was able to mix up like 15 ounces, but it's just the outside here. So I think it'll be enough for at least 2 good coats. So I'm going to get to it. Okay, so they are primed. They've been sitting about an hour to kind of flash off. It's a little on the cooler side today, so probably gonna let them sit for just maybe a little bit longer here. But it looks like everything's flashed off good enough. I found a couple dings in the fender on this side. I didn't even know they were in there. I don't know how they got there. I would say that the guy that built them did that, and that kind of annoys me. I can't do nothing about it now because I can't beat on the fender. I've got the inside painted and the outside primed, so it is what it is at this point. At the end of the day, these are trailer fenders, so basically I am going to be walking on top of these things, so I'm not really trying to get everything perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's going to be worked. I will probably end up on the top side. I'll have some of that tread stuff on there. You know, so I ain't walking on the paint. I'll be walking on like a strip. I forget what they call them, like skateboard stuff or whatever. When I do it, I'll show you guys. So, yeah, and trailers are gonna get used. So, just trying to get it protected. Yeah, so I'm gonna start mixing up the paint here so we can spray it on. I'm going with an acrylic enamel, I think is what it is. I checked the data. I can put that over top of this primer. Again, with your paint systems, guys, you got to follow the rules with your paint systems. Otherwise, you can have really bad results if they don't mix. But it's not a clear coat. It's a single stage. I felt like a trailer didn't need to be clear coated. I'm just going to spray the primer, spray the color, and be done with it. As long as it's halfway shiny, halfway smooth, I'm gonna be happy. So I'm gonna mix it up. I went with a black metallic. Should go nice with my black truck, I think. So I'm gonna get to it. Okay, so I guess I'll take you along with this process of the painting. This is my paint I got. I ordered it off eBay. You can get some pretty good deals. I got a whole gallon. I don't even need a gallon for that trailer, but it's nice to have a bunch of extra. I can probably paint that trailer several times, or maybe use this for something else. It's a black. I ordered a black metallic, and I don't know if you can see that there. It's kind of more metallic-y than I was thinking, but it'll work out. It should look good. It should look good on my truck. One thing I do here is, because this is a whole gallon, I got to pour this out. I'll poke some holes in this. Basically, them are drain back holes, so the paint will go back into the can when I put the lid back on. This is a system. You're going to mix 8 parts of the paint to 1 part of the, they call it wet look hardener. So it's 8 to 1. So when, I might be a little odd, but when it's like 8 to 1, I'll mix 8 ounces of the paint, and then I'll put 1 ounce of the hardener in there. And, you know, that's kind of what I do. Whether or not that's the right thing to do or not, I don't know. I'm going to try to not make a total mess trying to dump this paint out of this can here. I've seen some people kind of do this. So I'm going to go with it myself here and give it a try. Wish me luck, I guess, here. Actually, you know what? I probably should stir this up. I see in I'm seeing reds in there, which is weird. I think it was this was recently made. It's not been sitting on the shelf, so it's been recently made, probably even shook. Of course, the bottom of that, I did scrape up some stuff on the bottom of that. Should always mix your paints up. Stir them really good before you use them. And then you really want to stir them up too when you're mixing them. Another tip is if you're going to use this color for like a whole project, don't buy like a quart of it at a time and then buy another quart and then buy another quart. You want everything to match, so buy as much as you need to be able to do the project, so you don't end up short and then you have to rely on someone to mix it correctly, and then that could be a disaster for you. That's why I kind of like ordering on eBay there. It was kind of cheap enough. Yeah, so that was kind of a disaster. That was what I was hoping wasn't going to happen. I got paint everywhere now. I do got my 8 ounces though. Got a bunch wasted on the bench though. That's why I don't like this gallon. It seems like by now they should have thought of something so you don't waste paint. Like that paint there on the bench is wasted now. You know, it's like they want you to waste the paint, so you had to buy more, which isn't right. I'm probably going to need more than this. I probably should have mixed up 2 batches, but that was probably too much of this hardener. Well, I'm really showing you guys how to not do everything, you know. It's, like I said, dealing with like a whole gallon here, this is about the hardest thing you can deal with. So, I mean, it's not an easy thing to deal with a whole gallon. And I probably won't do that again because that didn't work out. All right, now I'm gonna mix this up nice, and then I'm going to put it in my paint gun. Okay, so I might as well show you the bag setup I use for my paint gun. My paint gun is a really old DeVille Biss, and you know, I use these liners, they call them, for my paint gun. I don't know, I've always done it. It just seems easier. You put a little deal in the bag there, poke it through, poke a hole in there, and you kind of seal it into the gun like that. And I just like these liners. Everything seems to work out really nice. pour the paint in with a strainer so you don't get no like big chunks in your paint. I guess you can reduce this paint. It seems thin enough to me to be able to work just fine. So I guess we'll see here how it goes on, but I won't be filming spraying it because I think I filmed enough spraying for you guys. But anyway, there's my liner. Then I seal it up. You actually this is airtight. So once you spray this upside down for a little bit and you get all the air out of this bag, you can literally spray upside down with this. I mean, paint won't be spilling out, and you'll actually have a spray. It'll spray upside down. You won't have that like where nothing comes out. Once the air's out of that bag, it'll spray, you know, any direction you put your cup, which is nice too. So I'm ready to spray. I'm gonna get this sprayed. I'll be back, guys, once we get it all nice and shiny. Hopefully you enjoyed this little segment of me mixing my paints up. Well, so there we are, guys. Finished painting these yesterday, actually. You can see they come out pretty good. With it being, you know, this shiny, you can see the waves in the metal, especially where it was welded. Actually, I think my side's pretty good where I welded it, but the guy, it's like he put too much heat. He had too much heat when he was welding and really warped it, and you can kind of see those. And then on the edges, you can see the edge where he didn't really bend it evenly, so it's kind of wavy there. But like I said, you know, this is a trailer, so it is, you know, it is what it is. But I'm happy with it. It is, like I said, it's really metallic. It almost, in the sun, it might look gray. I don't know. But I guess we'll find out once I get it out in the sun. That might be a little while now yet. Because, yeah, I need to get the rest of it painted. I think this will give me enough boost. Seeing these fenders ready to go on, give me enough boost, I think, to get after the rest of my trailer. And we'll get that finished up. This, you know, this is the part I really enjoy, putting the paint on, seeing the shiny thing. The problem is it takes so much work. I mean, you see in just a short little bit of all the work it takes to kind of get to this point on a project. It just takes so much work to get to this point. But this is the, I guess, the fun part of the project, when you get to see it shiny in a cool color that you picked out. But you don't get to do it very often because, like I said, it's a lot of work to get to this point. So I guess, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I'm going to end the video here. Probably do another video starting on the rest of the trailer. I don't know what I'll do, exactly what I'll video, but probably not painting because I did so much on these fenders here. So we'll just maybe focus on something else. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you.